Hey guys, how you guys doing? We got another update as it pertains to North Korea. This morning, the US and South Korea ran bombing runs as a test to rattle Kim on the Korean border. Now, we're trying to see, basically what's happening at this point, guys, is the US, Japan, and South Korea are trying to flex their military might to see if any form of military push like this will get Kim to stand down. My answer is, it's not. We had 3 aircraft carriers over in Korean waters at the same time, and it did not sway Kim Jong-un away from these provocations. You know, a couple days ago, Kim Jong-un ordered missile launches, tests, of course. One of them went over northern Japan. Honestly, it constitutes an act of war, and we did not shoot that down for various reasons. Right, our track record for shooting down ballistic missiles isn't the greatest. As of late, it's been pretty good. But altogether, it could have failed. It could have ended up in catastrophe. Trump most likely had the final word, and he decided not to after the intelligence showed that it was not going to hit Japan itself. But it doesn't change things, right? They're trying to deter Kim Jong-un from testing these missiles over Japan again. And Kim Jong-un and the KCNA, the media propaganda machine out of North Korea, has come out and stated that these missile tests are going to continue, that one missile test was a prelude to more, especially targeting Guam, the U.S. territory. So we should expect another missile go over Japan. It's a terrible thought. Honestly, it's just going to push us closer to the brink of war. But at this point, that's what it's looking like. And it looks like the U.S., South Korea, and Japan are running out of ideas militarily to deter North Korea, other than, a full-scale conflict, which no one wants. Putin has come out and stated that a war on the Korean Peninsula is becoming more and more likely day by day. China has come out and said that they're not going to allow a regime change, and they won't allow a Korean war on their doorstep. They don't want a full-scale war. China hasn't been extremely helpful in this situation, honestly. They have cut some trade with North Korea, supposedly. But when sanctioned, when different Chinese banks are sanctioned because they work with North Korea, they throw a pissy fit. When the THAAD system was deployed to South Korea, and most likely it's going to be deployed to Japan now, they lost their minds. They've been more aggressive towards the U.S. and our allies in this situation than they have North Korea. And why is that? Because we've talked about this, guys. North Korea is kind of like this buffer zone between the West and communist China. Now, like I said, these military deterrences are not going to deter Kim Jong-un. He's going to continue with these missile tests. We'll probably see one next week, to be honest. I think September 9th is a holiday for North Korea. We'll most likely either see a nuclear test or another missile test. And you got to ask yourself, we're pushing ourselves closer to war. I mean, that's the only thing that works. Sanctions don't work. Dialogue's out the window. Trump's come out and stated that, talking is not the answer. They're not going to talk. And even if they did sit down to talk, you got them to sit down and talk. Their nuclear and missile programs are off the table. So what's the point of talking? Guys, we're getting to a point where the only option left is a military strike. And if we were to strike North Korea, a conventional war would lead to millions dead. Millions. Without a doubt. So, the only way to honestly successfully strike North Korea is through nuclear means. Which, that's not something that the average person of the world wants. We don't want a nuclear war. We don't want war at all. But you also can't have a madman like Kim Jong-un launching missiles over sovereign states like Japan. It's just uncalled for, and something that most countries would just not deal with. You think Russia and China would allow that to happen? No, they would not. Now, there's a lot of information coming out about the Korean crisis right now. Putin apparently is evacuating eastern Russia because of a potential strike by the United States of America. We've known about China having troops and armored vehicles on the border with North Korea. And now we're learning that Kim Jong-un and his generals are ordering troops to plunder their own fields to get food because war is imminent. We've heard from Donald Trump and his generals that talk doesn't really work, that talking is not the answer. So you got to ask yourself, at what point is enough enough? Would it be another missile launch that goes over Japan? Because that's going to happen. That wasn't a one-time deal. North Korea stated that more launches are going to occur. At what time, we really don't know. My best guess would be September 9th because of that national holiday they have. If not, then they'll probably have a nuclear test at that point. It'll also be the 1-year anniversary, or at least around the 1-year anniversary of their last nuclear test. What blows my mind is that these missile tests keep on going without any real answer other than we do flybys with B-1B bombers. So we test our own ICBMs. It makes you wonder and question, one of these missiles, is it going to be used as a false flag? Is there going to be a false flag blamed on North Korea? Because at this point, Trump is kind of in a pickle, right? The left, a lot of people who hate Trump think that he's handling the situation with North Korea in not a good fashion. I mean, I don't know how the last 2 decades of presidents didn't know how to deal with North Korea. Obviously didn't work because their ICBM technology is way better than we previously imagined. All right, but Trump is in a pickle right now because on one hand, if he does nothing, the whole strategic patience venture doesn't really work, and we know that. We've seen that. North Korea just keeps lobbing these missiles. But if he does a conventional strike, a conventional war with North Korea will lead to millions dead. If he does a nuclear strike, he goes down as one of the most evil men to ever live. So he's stuck in a pickle. It's a terrible situation, and honestly, I don't have the answer. All I know is at this point, somebody's pushing for a war with North Korea, whether that be the deep state, whether that be people within our own government, whether that be China. One of these missiles might be used as a false flag so the United Nations, the US, and our allies can go into North Korea. And that's what I'm afraid of. It just takes one missile. It takes one explosion on Japan or South Korea, a US territory, to push us over the brink. And that's becoming more and more likely every day. Make sure to check back, guys. As more information comes out, I'll let you guys know. Grab a beer, say a prayer, keep your eyes to the sky.